Thanks for staying with Facing the Nation. Well, I'm even more excited than I was before because I just got some new information. The Deputy Mayor explained that the two finalists for this year for the Queen's Young Leader Award was himself, that's Akeem Peter, and Miss Marva Langevine. And of course, the winner is Marva Langevine. So I'm more excited because that means woman power too. It's not only youth power, but it's woman power. Marva, welcome to Facing the Nation for the first time, and I trust this wouldn't be your last time.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Those of you who follow my programs know that this is not the first time you're seeing a conversation with myself and Marva Langevine. I'm so happy to remind viewers that I met this young lady. She was, she still is, but very vibrant and very active since the year 2016 when she was entering one of our very major pageants here. And it wasn't only about the pageant, but it was beauty with a purpose. And I'd like to think that that helped to launch what she's here to talk about today. We're first going to talk about her as the Queen's Young Leader 2018, of course, for our country. And for those of you who haven't taken the time or you're not familiar with what the Queen's Young Leaders Award is, I'll just read a quick paragraph for you so that, just to set the conversation in tone. This award is an annual one given in recognition of leadership skills by young persons between the ages of 18 and 29. The award is open to selected Commonwealth nations to recognize exceptional people or organizations making a difference in improving the lives of citizens. The program was established by the Queen Elizabeth Diamond Jubilee Trust in partnership with Comic Relief and the Royal Commonwealth Society. And I got that little paragraph there from the Department of Public Information, so that is as a result of their research. Marva, is that accurate?
Yes.
All right.
It is.
Let's talk about you as the Queen's Young Leader for 2018. How, do you feel to have been awarded this, great honor?
It's a great blessing, honestly. It was announced since December, but I guess leading up to my trip to the UK, that's when the media and everybody really
got a hold of
understood what was going on. But it was announced in December, and it's a one-year program with, of course, from the Diamond, Queen Elizabeth Diamond Jubilee Trust. And in that 1 year, you have 1 year online program with Cambridge University, with Lead and Change, where it's a 1 year online program where you're learning how to improve your leadership skills, you receive mentorship, and it's a course where you not only learn, but you also reflect on your own self and you learn a lot about yourself. And within that, there's a 10-day residential program, which I just came back from in the UK, where you attend workshops, you meet influential leaders, and it ends with the ceremony at the Buckingham Palace, which was incredible. And you received the award from the Queen herself.
Okay. So you talked about the 1 year and then the 10 days. The 1 year is ongoing, or it's currently happening now?
Online.
So, all right. What is that? Do you find that it's something that you wanted to do, or this because of this award and all of that, it just opened a new avenue for you?
Yes, that is why I applied for the award in the first place.
Okay.
Because I'm a teacher, and that's all I know. But then I realized I found my passion, which was providing support for bereaved children and their families. And of course, I had no previous experience in volunteering or with any nonprofit organization. And I came across the Queen's Young Leaders Program, and I realized it's not just a program that awards young people. It's a program that supports young people. So this 1 year online program is something that I needed, and it has helped me so much in terms of improving my skills as a leader and also taking my projects forward and to have a wider impact.
In terms of your child bereavement, and viewers, again, I feel so blessed, and I take pleasure in saying that I learned of her intentions and this passion of hers since 2016. In terms of that, I was reading somewhere that it is not child bereavement. For want of a better word, it's not popular in other developing countries. Some people still call it third world countries, but the political correcting is developing countries. Do you find that it is, however, popular or rampant or significant in the developed world? And are there any things that you can probably take from those developed countries to help you in your, and I know you have the Guyana Golden Lives organization.
Yes.
Is there anything that you can use in terms of best practices to use in the Guyana Golden Lives organization?
Yes, definitely, because 4 years ago, after my friend died from leiomyosarcoma, and I saw how it affected her two young boys, I went online and I typed in what happens to children after their parents died. And all the websites I came across on child bereavement awareness was from the developed countries, from the UK, from America, from Ireland, and especially those European countries. And of course, they have excellent health care. I mean, it's not perfect, but they understand the needs of their people, and especially children. And I went on their websites, and they have many resources, many literary resources, and I took that and I modified it because Guyanese culture and Caribbean culture is totally different from the European world.
Yes.
So, but there was a lot of useful information in terms of how children grieve, how you can provide adequate and appropriate support. And I also use my own experience as a teacher and just somebody who loves children to provide our own unique type of support for the children. And I worked with Youth with a Mission, that's a non-denominational missionary group in Perica, to host camps for the children. And I brought in my friends who are teachers, who are social workers, who are leaders within the community to just be there, be a mentor to the children.
Okay. Were you the only, and I'm not sure, well, this is assuming you spoke to all of them and you had cordial relations with all of them. Were you the only awardee, the 2018 awardee, focused on child bereavement?
Yes.
Wow.
There were a few young people who were tackling mental health issues, but I was the only one who was dealing specifically with child bereavement. And even though it is getting the awareness I wanted to get, people are still uncomfortable with it.
Really?
Yeah, death and grief is a taboo topic. And I always thought Guyanese people are resilient, but we repress a lot of our feelings and we don't address a lot of our feelings. So especially with children, when I approach families who I know have experienced some sort of death, especially traumatic death, whether it's domestic homicide, they're kind of hesitant to receive the support. They don't want to raise any ants nests. And I'm looking at the children, I'm trying to tell them that the children are suffering. They're suffering silently. They might not want to speak to you, but we are here to provide support. But luckily, some families have been open to us, and we were able to help the children especially cope with their grief. And they're more hopeful and cheerful since we have intervened. And the family also, we're trying to create a system where they're also supported financially, especially for the widows.
Because the children understand now that there's somebody who understands them, and like you said, they don't have to suffer in silence.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Guyana Golden Lives organization. You can't do anything without money. How is it funded? What is happening there, and where is it now, and where you'd like to see that organization?
Thankfully, since December, since receiving the Queen's Young Leaders Award and receiving the skills to take things forward. We're finally in the process of formalizing everything. But in the years before, it was friends and family and generous businessmen who I approached and told the stories of the families I've been working with, and they have donated in cash or kind, whatever is the need. Because we try to provide support of all kinds. We don't want to be just specifically counseling or mentorship, whatever is the need, because the needs varies across different families.
And I guess it depends on whether it's the male, female, or the male parent or the female parent that would have been lost, and who the children are left, in whose care they're left.
Yes, definitely. So friends, family, and generous businessmen, namely, I remember when, for my friend, her father died 3 months after she died. Wow. So, and her mother wasn't working, she was a housewife, and her father, he was the breadwinner of the family. So after he died, of course, now the children are there without a mother, and now the grandmother who took up the responsibility to look after them, now she's there without a husband and without income coming in, and they didn't have their home was in the process of being built. And I remember I rode to Lumberyard and Newland Lumberyard, and oh my gosh, I'm not remembering the other Lumberyard. I don't know.
Don't worry, they know themselves. They'll forgive you.
Forrester.
There you go.
From Region 3, all from Region 3, and they donated lumber, so they were able to finish the floor and the walls, so now they have their home they're living in. So those are different projects that we're trying to work on. I'm currently working on a project of building a hygienic toilet facility for a widow and a mother of 5 who's desperately in need of a toilet. So that's another project we're working on. So whatever's the need, we try to reach out to people and say, well, this is something that we need, and persons have been donating. And
even though you're a West Side girl, Region 3 girl, it's not only to target children in that region, is it?
No.
Okay.
We want to take it across all the regions in Guyana and hopefully in the future across the Caribbean region. I've
As you
worked with
grow.
families in Leguan, from Berbice, some families from Georgetown in Region 3. So I get referrals from all over. But of course it's hard. Of course we don't have money.
Yes.
Because to have to go to visit these families, there's another set of expenses there. But so far we're coping well and things are looking up.
Yeah, and I know you'll get the support, especially in the private sector, and people will understand. And I like this purpose. I like this platform because it is not to say that our other dangers in society are not important to focus on, but I like this because it is a difference and it's a first. And indeed, we forget when, and I'm happy that you did that research. What happens to a child when a parent dies? And
Yes.
I was talking about this on social media recently, but of course this would be with focus on violence against women and domestic violence. We get all upset and we shout in the public that this must stop when a man kills a woman, or when a man beats a woman. And I think, yes, in the moment we say, yes, now that person, that woman or that man or both parents, would have died and left the child or the children to grieve. And we say that in the moment, but I don't think that we keep in mind that these children or this child left without a parent, would have to grow and become adults. And some of them are even stigmatized. Well, adults, we can be cruel sometimes. Oh, this was her mother, she father,
Yes.
to speak
Yes.
Creolese.
Yes, it's true.
So,
They are the forgotten mourners.
Yes. So I'm really happy that you have taken this on. It's a lot that you're doing. You're also teaching. Does that mean that your pageant days are over, Marva?
Yes, definitely.
You're definitely over. Viewers, I must tell you, she had the same reaction when I spoke with her earlier in the week for another program. That's the other program that focuses on development on the West Side. So she had the same reaction. But the experience was a good one, wasn't it?
Yes, I love dressing up and taking up pictures, but
That's
pageantry is a lot of work. And charity work, that's a lot of work by itself. And then the glitz and the glamour, that's another work by itself. So I'm just focusing all my energies on just the charity work. I want to leave the glitz and the glamour to the other girls who are actually passionate about that part of their lives.
All right.
But right now I'm just living, trying to grow. I love Guyana. I love children. And I'm just trying to fulfill my purpose.
Tell us
on
about
this
what
earth.
you teach.
What do I
What
teach?
you teach.
Oh, I teach Spanish. And I also have a passion for languages also. Guyana being the only English-speaking country in South America, I always encourage Guyanese people especially to take advantage of learning another language. We're surrounded by 3 languages. Learn at least one, please. I mean, my
You're
students,
begging.
they do not like a foreign language, and I try my best to make it as interactive and fun for them. I catch a few of them, but there's still the majority who just isn't interested. They're interested in the Americanized life, and we have right in our neighbors, we have rich cultures and a lot of opportunities close by. So I think we as Guyanese, we really need to look close and not too far to see where we can actually benefit. And learning language is awesome and it's cool. So imagine being able to speak 2 languages.
And you, ma'am, are certainly awesome too, and you're also cool. Thank you so very much for coming on Facing the Nation. I look forward to you, and I mean this in a positive way, into you exploding and doing so many more wonderful things. And Marva Langevine must become a household name, not just temporary. So I look forward to you doing a whole lot. Congratulations again, and good luck to everything that you're going to take on. And feel free to let Facing the Nation and West Side Story know when there are other things that you're doing and things that you would have achieved, because I always say we don't put enough positive things in our news often enough, and we look forward to getting some positive news from you. Continued positive news.
Thank you so much.
All right, viewers, this would have been my conversation with Miss Marva Langevine, Queen's Young Leader 2018. Again, if you've missed it, you can subsequently tune into my YouTube channel and also Facebook, and the conversation will be posted there. I also, on Saturday, which is tomorrow, you'll also be seeing another conversation I had with Miss Langevine earlier in the week, but that was recorded and it will be aired on NCN during the West Side Story Time. For now, we'll let Marva take her leave, and I'll take a quick break and come right back to wrap up today's program. Stay tuned. Right. We're almost at the time today where I have to bring the curtains down on our program. I know you had informative fun on the program today. It's always nice when you get persons on the program with personalities that are not only professional but at the same time relaxing and fun. Someone reminded me recently, you can't always take yourself so seriously. So I was really, really happy to have both Akeem Peter, Deputy Mayor, and Miss Marva Langevine, Queen's Young Leader 2018. They're both, and again, I got new information, and I tell people that really and truly God works in mysterious ways. Initially, weeks ago, the plan was not to have both of them on at the same time, but it just happened, and the information I got today is that the two of them were the two finalists from Guyana for that award, and of course Marva Langevine turned out to be the winner. She was chosen instead of Akeem. But it's really and truly great because they're young persons and they're both doing wonderful things. It could not have gone any other way, any better way, I should say. All right. Well, you've had a full one this week. Next week, we plan to have another informative and interesting ones. As I did say earlier on this program, exciting things. I'm getting all tight-tongued today because I'm so excited. But exciting times are ahead for our country, especially for the rest of this year. So many things are happening. The conversations are out there. There's so much for people to look forward to. Yesterday, again, just to repeat and just to remind you, yesterday it was announced that local government elections will be on Monday, the 12th of November 2018. We're all looking forward to that. And Akeem did remind you, that's the deputy mayor, he did remind you that it is not only for the political giants, but for other groups to be a part, and that gives you a voice. So no person, no citizen, or no group walking around society should think that you don't have a voice. You just need to organize yourself, your one self, or selves as a group, and you can definitely and truly get things done, and that's what we're happy about. So those of you in the communities and so on, you've had certain leaders for the last 2 years. If you're satisfied, keep them. If you're not satisfied, you don't keep them. That is the beauty about any democratic process. Also, everyone is talking about the fact that one of the political giants, which I always remind you, I'm very happy and very proud to be a member of the People's National Congress Reform. Of course, even a former executive member because of being an executive member of the Guyana Youth and Student Movement, which is the youth arm of the PNCR. Yes, I'm not that young any longer to still be in the GYSM, but I'm a member in a particular group. We know the Congress is coming up very soon. We're going to have our elections. I'm so accustomed to removing myself from a situation, but in this case, I'm also a part of it. I know that is the conversation. Everybody's talking about it, but I just like to take this opportunity to remind everyone out there, especially those of you who are eligible to vote in during the upcoming Congress, especially on that final day. Those of you who are not eligible, but you have your favorites and you're on social media commenting and so on, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you, be respectful. You don't have to like a candidate. You don't have to want that candidate to be in whatever position it is, but you have an obligation to respect them because you want them to respect you. And when you respect other people, it also tells me that you are respecting yourselves. Remember, and I did stress on this last week, we have the younger persons watching. Us older folks, we have this way of condemning them when they do wrong things, and sometimes I forget and we forget that we don't necessarily set the example. So those of you who are in the elections mode, whether it be local government elections for PNCR, or regarding what is happening in the PPP, just try to be respect. You can disagree without getting all muddy and all nasty, especially on social media. I tell people sometimes I think social media has become the devil's playground, but if you're responsible, you will use it in a responsible way, and remember to respect each other. That's all the time I have with you on this week's program. Thank you very much for watching. I remind you to be good Guyanese citizens. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I am Malika Ramsey, and this has been Facing the Nation.